afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. I hope you have all enjoyed your lunch or will enjoy lunch if you haven't eaten yet. My name is Christy Greer, and today I would like to welcome you to the Grierson Inn, a luxury bed and breakfast offering the highest of Highland hospitality. Born and raised right here in Western North Carolina, I have always been intrigued by the significant Scottish influence on Appalachian Highland culture. My own ancestry traces all the way back to the Grierson clan, the Lairds of Lag in Scotland, and you can see right here the ruins of the old clan seat, Lag Tower, which still stand in what is now Dumfries, Scotland. My ancestors arrived in the Appalachians from Scotland in the 1700s, along with thousands of other Scottish families who influenced the traditions of Highland hospitality that our region is known for to this day. My own great-aunt Bessie was known for her gracious hospitality. No stranger or friend could step foot in her home without being offered a warm meal, and she was renowned for her generosity to both her neighbors and the community. The Grierson Inn carries forward this heritage. To us, a luxury experience is one of comfort, relaxation, and delight. As a trained butler with several years of experience at Biltmore, including the luxury Forbes 4-star Inn on Biltmore Estate, and as a chef graduate of AB Tech's Culinary Arts program, I have the ability to curate unique and personalized services and hospitality in all aspects of the guest experience. The location I have chosen for the inn is the small but growing town of Black Mountain, North Carolina. As a small town just 20 minutes from downtown Asheville, with its own attractions including shopping, fairs, festivals, dining, and a growing number of breweries, arts, and music venues, Black Mountain has won TripAdvisor's Prettiest Small Town in America Vacation Award and draws a wide range of visitors every year. This location is also just a short drive from the Blue Ridge Parkway, scenic and historic attractions, and over a dozen camps, conference centers, and college and university campuses. The property includes a 6-room inn and 2 cottages that provide a total additional 3 suites, connected via a mixed-use ornamental and kitchen garden with walking paths and benches for guests to enjoy, as well as a bonfire pit on the lawn with outdoor seating space for socials and even live music. Inside the inn is a comfortable, pleasant library and sitting room for guests to relax and socialize, as well as a large dining room for them to enjoy breakfast before heading out to the activities of the day. I anticipate hosting guests with a wide range of interests. My primary target market, about 45%, will be tourists. These are the destination travelers that are coming to the area for outdoor activities and a wide range of adventures. For example, Biltmore Estate, the largest private home and most visited winery in the United States, draws over 1.4 million guests, while Asheville's breweries attract over 1 million guests per year. In addition to hundreds of restaurants, dozens of local historic sites, music venues, and Asheville's bustling arts scene. The second target market includes guests visiting for events and conferences, including a few on combined business and leisure or leisure travel. These guests are often seeking a quiet, connected place to stay in proximity to locations such as the Montreat Conference Center, which attracts 30,000 visitors per year, as well as other retreats, event centers, and festivals such as the Lake Eden Arts Festival and Black Mountain's annual Sourwood Festival. Another important market will be parents and of children and college students at more than a dozen summer camps, colleges, and universities in the Asheville region. These guests have a range of interests depending upon their travel plans and the age of their children, whether taking advantage of a few days away from the kids for quality time and adventures, or enjoying a weekend together while visiting their college student. Finally, our fourth primary target market will be destination wedding attendees, honeymooners, and other celebrations. In 2022, according to the wedding report, there were over 4,300 weddings in Asheville, which drew over 500,000 wedding guests. In addition, this is a popular destination for honeymooners and other celebration trips. Appealing to this range of guests, our property offers a variety of rooms and amenities for all needs. These can be found on pages 4 through 6 of your packet and include the elegant third-floor Grierson suite, a master suite complete with a coat of arms, its own fireplace, and full luxury appointments. Our detached cottages are premium spaces offering pet-friendly accommodations that are ideal for families or guests wanting a greater sense of privacy. These include the carriage house, which has 2 suites that can be reserved individually or connected as one unit to host up to 8 guests, and the freestanding garden cottage, which sleeps up to 4. The other rooms, including 2 with handicap accessibility, will be named for Scottish flora and fauna or for famous Scots, such as Robert Burns, the renowned poet who lived for a time in Dumfries and is said to have been a friend of the Grierson clan. All of our rooms include amenities and compliments, such as chef-made breakfast daily. You'll find sample menus on pages 7 through 15. Homemade chocolates, cookies, and other treats. Complimentary wine social daily. Luxury bed and bath amenities, including robes, spa-grade linens, and locally made soaps, as well as refrigerators in each room, coffee and tea service, and smart TVs, and additional amenities available for purchase, which will be discussed in greater detail momentarily. We will offer a range of packages and amenities for purchase, which will give guests greater value and help create a customized, personalized experience based upon their interests. The list here is only a sample, and full descriptions of these are found on pages 16 through 17 of your packet. For example, the Biltmore package will include tickets to Biltmore, a guidebook, a keepsake gift or Biltmore gift card, and snacks for a day trip to the estate. For those interested in the brewery scene here in Asheville, we would offer a Beer City tour package, which would include custom branded Grierson Inn beer glasses, complimentary beer and snacks for their room, and tickets to an Asheville brewery tour. Other amenities would include, but not be limited to, flowers, homemade specialty chocolates, chocolate-covered strawberries, cakes of different sizes and flavors, wine, charcuterie boards made with local meats and cheeses, locally made soaps, and Grierson Inn branded mugs. Pages 19 through 25 explore the financial parameters for the project. Here on page 19, we have this overview of just the first year's operating budget, including just over $405,000 in room revenue. The fairly low occupancy of 46% is compared to a local estimate of about 52% occupancy for bed and breakfasts, and it's due to the fact that we will be building our clientele and establishing ourselves in the market during that first year. We will open in the month of May to capture travel for Mother's Day, summer breaks, and graduations, building into early summer tourist travel, destination travel to Asheville. Every year for 3 weeks, start after the 1st of January, we will be closed and will reopen in time for Burns Night, Robert Burns' birthday, on January 25th. Including a moderate first year forecast for amenities and additional sales, we anticipate a total revenue of just under $429,000 for the first year. To keep our startup costs a little bit lower, the owners who will live on site will not draw salary for the first couple months, And we will also not anticipate needing a seasonal housekeeper during this startup time, which will allow us to keep our initial startup cost, labor cost, below 25%. The total expenses for the year will come to right at $392,000, leaving us a profit margin of $36,800 or 8.6%. On page 20, we have this forecast for the first 3 years of operations, starting with that 8.6% profit in year 1. Without the heavy startup costs and with higher anticipated occupancy and slightly higher average daily rates in year 2, we were forecasting nearly $127,000 of profit for a 24.4% profit margin in year 2. In year 3, we will level out with slight increases in rate and about 3% more occupancy for a profit of $143,000 or 26%. For my financing model, which you find here on page 21, I contacted an SBA loan company directly and received this quote. For purposes of the project, I estimated a $1.6 million purchase price and have built in a large budget of $325,000 for repairs and renovations. The total owner investment, including our contribution to the loan and the required emergency funds for initial operating expenses, comes in just under $500,000, with $2,066,000 financed and an estimated total startup costs of $2.152 million. You'll see this sample weekly sales forecast on page 22. This represents the various rates for each of our rooms, suite, and cottages, extra revenue for additional guests or pet fees, and a forecasted revenue total for the week. This is only a sample forecast, and we will be adjusting our rates dynamically day to day based upon business demands and volume to maximize our potential revenue. Our labor schedule will vary weekly based upon this forecast. And you can see that here, which is on page 24. We strive to ensure that our staff are paid a fair and living wage. The owners are going to start with a modest salary in addition to living on the premises. The assistant innkeeper will receive a starting salary of $32,500 with an average of 30 hours worked per week, fluctuating seasonally according to demand. Staff will be able to enjoy vacations during the 3 weeks that we're closed, and this salary does include a year-round pay scale, so they'll be receiving salary year-round. We'll also add seasonal housekeepers, and will help ensure consistent return by paying a fair hourly wage in addition to their tips. All members of the staff will be eligible for profit sharing bonuses either seasonally or at year's end, depending on how we're doing. And you'll find full job descriptions for each of these positions on page 23. For our marketing strategy, I'd like to start with a review of our SWOT analysis. The strengths of the business include personalized, elevated services that our guests will receive, the high attention to detail with high quality linens, distinct house-made treats such as chocolate truffles, our afternoon socials with wine and snacks, the privacy of a dining room dedicated only to our lodging guests, and our child-friendly and pet-friendly policies, our location and proximity to attractions such as we've discussed already, and a focus on keeping a website that is user-friendly, mobile-friendly, and consistently up-to-date. Some possible weaknesses we could encounter will be the age of the facility. I anticipate purchasing a historic or at least an older property, which could lead to extensive repairs and maintenance costs. Additionally, being a small independent property, We will not have the purchasing power for many of the large discounts that a larger hotel can achieve. Also, our child and pet-friendly policies could be considered a weakness by some guests, which is why several of our rooms are designated as pet-free. We have quite a few opportunities in our marketplace. 2 of the last 3 small bed and breakfasts in Black Mountain have permanently closed in recent years. One closed because it was purchased as a private home. Another was purchased by a law firm and has been transitioned into law offices. The third small bed and breakfast that remains is currently for sale because the owner is retiring after 35 years of successful business. This is leaving a gap in the market and a real opportunity for us to step in. At the same time, Black Mountain is growing in demand due to its quiet, small town feel while being in such close proximity to Asheville. We also have some threats to reckon with. One is the biggest competitor, the Red Rocker Inn. Pages 27 and 28 have a full situation analysis of this property, as well as Black Mountain's larger boutique historic inn, the Monte Vista Hotel. We also have competition from several larger chain hotels in Black Mountain, as well as over 35 bed and breakfasts in Asheville's overall established market. And we are a new business and have to carve out our own market share and establish our own clientele. Finally, both of our primary competitors' rates may be on track to be actually a little lower than ours by the end of our 2nd year of business. Pages 29 through 31 include these details of our advertising and marketing plans. Our key strategies will focus on the importance of a high-quality website, including search engine optimization and analytics, an up-to-date and carefully managed email list, and timely, individualized responses to online reviews on sites including TripAdvisor, Google, and Facebook, which will directly impact our ratings and how high we're listed on search engine results. We will also engage the use of online travel agencies such as Expedia and Booking.com. Although these OTAs tend to charge high commissions, it will be important for our first years as we're developing our clientele to use these to get bookings. And we'll likely use sponsored listings as well on these sites to boost our presence. Finally, we will join the Black Mountain Chamber of Commerce, Explore Asheville, and similar organizations in order to benefit from the community involvement and promotion to guests researching travel to the area. Our social media strategy will focus around Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, with a plan to be active on these platforms at least 3 to 5 times per week. This will include activity during our closed season and when it's quieter, just to keep us active and up on people's radar. Our Facebook presence will be a lot of promotion around our brand with announcements, posts about local events, talking about our public relations campaigns, and also taking advantage of targeted advertising on Facebook. Instagram will be used for posting pictures, reels, and stories surrounding our food and our brand, and to stimulate guest engagement. LinkedIn will be mainly used to network with local businesses, increase our presence in the market, and to engage with local business travelers, potential travelers, as well as a platform to talk about our public relations programming, which we'll be discussing shortly. Using these social media and other advertising platforms, we will implement a range of activities and strategies for reaching each of our target markets. For the tourist market, we'll focus on Facebook and Instagram promotions, Explore Asheville, and our own website. For some examples of promotional activities, we would use Facebook to announce our promotions and packages at the inn, create Instagram content highlighting our menus and seasonal bloom and leaf color reports, and also we would have tourist market packages that would include specific destination and activity packages such as the Biltmore package and the Beer City package we've already spoken of. We would also use these platforms to announce limited time offers, such as a discounted third night when booking 2 nights or more at the inn during our slow seasons. For the events, conferences, and leisure traveler market, we will target conference attendees to book our private relaxed cottages and quiet rooms with a retreat package, collaborate with local events and festivals through synergistic marketing, and use LinkedIn to connect with potential business travelers seeking a connected, relaxed place to stay in close proximity to business or conferences. We'll use Facebook targeted ads to market to parents of campers and college students, as well as seasonal promotions on LinkedIn, Instagram, and websites such as Explore Asheville. Activities to attract these guests include offering a range of amenities and activities depending on their unique considerations and travel plans, including adult activities like a beer tour package for that weekend away from the kids, to the family-friendly s'mores by the fire pit, and various amenities and for parents traveling to visit their college student locally. We will use all of our social media platforms to attract weddings, honeymooners, and celebrations, as well as a presence on sites like Romantic Asheville. Activities would include highlighting pictures and posts about amenities like our homemade cakes and torts, chocolate-covered strawberries, and sparkling wines, themed packages, and romantic imagery like a glass of wine and some truffles by the fire pit. We would also offer interactive activities such as an Instagram giveaway where guests can tag our brand or products in their post and be entered for a premium picnic package, including tickets to Biltmore, a bottle of wine, and a gourmet lunch. We'll use these same platforms not only to advertise, but to encourage others to support the causes that mean the most to us, such as our public relations campaigns. Our public relations program will be year-round in scope. With the amount of poverty and food insecurity here in Western North Carolina, we will do what we can to support those in need. With this in mind, we will participate with Manna Food Bank, for example, by making and serving a soup for the annual Empty Bowls fundraiser. Every November, in honor of National Homelessness Awareness Month and National Homelessness and Hunger Awareness Week, for every reservation booked, we will also make a donation to appropriate charitable organizations. Guests will also be offered the option to make an additional donation at booking during their stay. Additionally, anytime we have excess food products that are usable but can't be used by our guests or individuals that work for us, our staff, we would donate them to a food rescue organization such as the Food Connection here in Asheville. In addition to locally made bar soap, while we will use sustainable large format dispensers for our liquid bath products, if we have any leftover products, we will be donating those for soap recycling. And finally, as a good neighbor to our local community, we plan to participate in the Adopt a Highway program. This is a 4-year commitment to maintain a section of highway at least 4 times per year. It would be our goal to present a clean and beautiful section of the highway in our neighborhood that would exemplify our commitment to service and embody in a public way the true nature of luxury, Highland hospitality that represents the Grierson Inn. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions?
Did you consider Airbnbs to be a competitor? I didn't see that on your comp set list.
I'm aiming for a slightly different market. They may be a competitor, but guests that are, there's a specific target market and interest in bed and breakfast specifically, as opposed to the private B&B model. So there definitely could be some competition, but I'm not considering it my primary competitor.
Sort of a corollary to that, was there any consideration for listing on Vrbo or Airbnb?
Possibly, at least the cottages, because they are a unique room. I know for myself as a traveler, if I want a B&B, an Airbnb, I don't want to book it and then find out that it's actually a business. I'm looking, if I'm an Airbnb traveler, I'm looking for somebody's home. And that's not the model that it's not quite the same model.
Your public relations aspect, are you familiar with Donnie and Soul that is out of Black Mountain?
No, I'm not. So I'll have to look into them.
Christy, I think it's a very well thought out presentation. You put a lot of thought in your menus and your business proposal. You know, one comment, customer acquisition is becoming more and more costly for our market in Nashville. You have to reach out further and you know, target specific cities that you want people to come to your establishment from. What target cities would you think about?
Mostly would be regional, so within a 5-hour drive of Asheville, so probably Atlanta, Charlotte, and then into Virginia and Tennessee as well, but more the larger population centers, especially for like the parents of campers. I would be finding out, okay, where do these parents come from that are bringing their campers to local camps, and then I would reach out to those regions.
I think that's a great idea. There's lots of camp parents. It's like they go to camp for camps. You know, and the other thing too, influencers, right? How do you show an Instagram and such like? How do you know, starting an Instagram page or a Facebook page, just building your own likes is hard. You have to use all tactics for that. That stuff sometimes becomes expensive as well. So your marketing funds may be a little low.
Thank you.
So I had a question about your operating expense. Like if you're trying to like do an older home, I would feel like you would want to account for more of the budget because you're just like one broken cooler away from your whole budget being screwed up in that regard. So I wasn't sure what you were like planning on using that like operating costs to put towards. Is that for equipment?
So the operating cost is kind of an overhead, as was mentioned earlier. It's kind of, for the purposes of the course, was used as kind of an overhead catch-all for maintenance, repairs, taxes, and then I would also have considerable cash flow that I would not distribute. So if I had, and that would be a rainy day fund as well for unforeseen issues like that.
You had some great amenities to go along with the rooms. Those were fantastic to kind of make you stand out. Did you price those out individually to see what your costs would be? Because sometimes like the acting and social, they include the wine.
Yes.
That might kind of push you over.
So I included the wine at about 1/3 of a bottle per room as my, and included it in the cost per room sold to make sure that that would be accommodated and accounted for. It is going to technically be complimentary wine. I'm not worrying about a wine license, wine and beer license. So I'm going to just include, I'm not going to be officially technically selling wine. So it's just that cost is just underneath, built into the cost of the room.
Christy, really well done. I think you obviously put a lot of thought into it. I love the tie-in to your heritage and your family and the connection to the area and the land. I think that's a powerful story, and you should really express that a lot with your communications and your advertising, customer acquisition. I just had a couple comments that I hope were helpful. With your labor model, I love that you included profit sharing for the employees that you have. And as you know, labor is really tough, and it's going to just continue to get tough and hard to acquire talent. So you might want to think about how you differentiate yourself even more for employees that are working, less than 40 might be some other things you can do for that. The other is you have, I think in your job description for one of the owners is responsible for maintenance and engineering. And you might find that that becomes more than you think, and you might need to have a position for that, or contract that out. So there might be some additional expenses included with that. As with any startup, things pop up, as you mentioned, that you don't know are going to happen and they happen. So it might be something to consider. It might be a lot for an owner to take on, everything that was in that job description. The other two things I had, have you considered thinking about, I know locally we have a lot of fairs and festivals, and I think there's a Renaissance fair and some other Scottish heritage type organizations that you could tie into, give that to the heritage that you're sharing. And then also with your customer and your guest, pre-visit planning might become more and more important, so any way you can make it more turnkey for them and have pre-visit planning, and they can just show up as generations evolve that are seeing more and more of that. So, yeah, really well done. Good job.
I've got to say, we talked about this before, but I had a hard time tying the Scottish thing with the hospitality thing. I hadn't had that wrapped in my head as to how that works. You did a great job of tying it together today. We grappled with that quite a bit. You really found your lane there. I felt so good about that connection. So the detail in this is incredible. I mean, you've covered just about everything. Question for you on the bonus side. You didn't budget it because that would be if you exceeded the plan. So it really wouldn't be an additional cost. It would be
Correct.
basically sharing if we did better than what we were expecting to do. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Commanding demand is very important, specifically in months where you don't see the occupancy, right? So the January celebrating the birthday, that's a great command demand event, right? February, Valentine's Day, what do you do special there? March, St. Patrick's Day, right? So as you work through your business plan, I thought the opening on the birthday, was that Grandpap's birthday?
It was so opening was going to be in May for the
Burns
grand
Day.
opening is in May. Then opening each year is going to be for Burns' birthday. Yes,
Yeah.
so we'll do like a Burns night, maybe have a reading of Burns poetry, maybe even a special dinner. There's a whole Scottish culture around Burns night, so we might tap into that a little bit.
I want to come to Burns night,
celebration.
whatever that is, you let me know. I'll bring my kilt.
Might be the one time a year we serve haggis. We'll see.
All right. And then, your room rates. I'm not familiar with Black Mountain, but in our market it seems a little low, right? So how would, is there any kind of tools that you researched on how to make that fluid?
Yes, so I compared against the rates at my competitors and other bed and breakfasts in the area, both here in Asheville and in Black Mountain. Black Mountain, because it's a little bit further out from Asheville, tends to be just that little bit lower than the Asheville rates, but definitely that would be flexible, and I would be basing it on my occupancy and learning the market as I got into it. But I'd rather start out a little bit low and bring in guests that might choose me over another B&B in the region because of my lower rate, and then be able to gradually work that up over time.
Any thoughts, like during the week? I know weekdays are always going to be slow for the weekends. I saw your market segment targets, but any other customers that are unique to like a weekday stay in Black Mountain that wouldn't be in that group or tourist list?
Well, definitely, I think the festivals and the business, trying to use LinkedIn to make ourselves appealing and visible to the business traveler. It's not a huge market, but definitely from other B&B owners that I've spoken with, there are those people that want something quieter. They don't want to stay at a standard hotel. They want something a little more unique.
You figure 3 rooms would be 50% of your occupancy, just about,
people are working during the week, right? So does that become 65 plus?
It could be, for sure.
And is there a market for that? And then, you know, what social platform do you find those people on? More Facebook rather than Instagram and such, so.
Yes.
You could have a 2-week or two-way strategy where you could market to your older generations, or sorry, but figure out your weekend with the kids